Welcome to the deep dive. Okay, so you know the Tamil film industry, right? It's this incredible world. Like heroes are basically gods. Every story feels epic. Emotions just explode onto the screen. It's huge. But what happens when like real life throws a plot twist? Something maybe even more baffling than anything you'd see in a movie.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what we're diving into today. We're looking at this really fascinating saga around one of the most hyped films, Thug Life. You've got the legendary director Mani Ratnam, the icon Kamal Haasan, and somehow this project is now right in the middle of this massive controversy in Tamil Nadu. So our mission today, let's pull back the curtain on this whole thing. We'll look at the facts, try to understand this clash between, artistic freedom and public anger, and ultimately figure out what it all means for creativity, for expression, especially in such a vibrant film hub.
Exactly. And it's definitely bigger than just one movie, isn't it? What we're seeing here, it kind of reflects these broader questions in society. It touches on, the legal side of free speech, that really tricky balance with cultural sensitivities, and just the basic right to create art in a place as diverse and, well, dynamic as India. It really lays bare some modern tensions.
So let's start at the beginning. How did Thug Life, this like dream project, go from all that massive anticipation to being this public flashpoint?
Okay, so picture this. It's a period action drama, right? Slated for 2025. Helmed by Mani Ratnam, the guy's a master, everyone knows his style, and starring Kamal Haasan leading this amazing cast. The promise was just huge. Ratnam's kind of nuanced storytelling meeting Hassan's, well, he can play anyone. That chameleon quality. Think, like historical grit, but maybe with that modern punch. Not exactly a sprawling epic, maybe more like that intense, grounded Nayakan vibe that Ratnam did so brilliantly. And the initial buzz, oh man, is electric. The teaser dropped late 2024, gave us this glimpse of Hassan looking super rugged, like an anti-hero, beard and all. Honestly, it was quite the look.
Ah, yeah, I remember that.
And the fans just went wild. Social media blew up. You could almost feel the box office getting ready. Everyone was counting down. Right. Pure excitement.
But then, the script kind of flips unexpectedly. Certain groups, let's call them the sentiment police for now, they somehow got wind of the title Thug Life and maybe some rumored plot points. And the reaction was fast and loud.
Okay, so what were they actually saying? What were the claims? Well, they were pretty strong, weren't they? Stuff like Thug Life disrespects their community's heritage, it insults their sensibilities. I even heard that classic line about how it could ruin their morning idly sambar vibe, which is, quite something.
Very specific.
But the truly absurd part, the thing that makes you scratch your head, is that all this outrage, all these claims, they exploded before anyone saw the movie. Not a single frame.
Yeah.
Based on the title and whispers. That's the core of it. It snowballed based on almost nothing concrete. And the fallout was immediate. You had protests popping up, Chennai, Madurai, effigies of Ratnam and Hassan being burned. Social media turned into this, virtual battlefield, accusations flying everywhere. And the Tamil Nadu government, suddenly they're caught right in the middle of this, popcorn-fueled firestorm, pressure mounting to do something.
Okay, so let's dig into that. Who exactly are these self-appointed guardians? The sentiment police, as you called them.
Well, it's not like one single group with a clear name tag, From what we can tell, it seems to be a mix, kind of fringe political outfits, various community groups, mostly based there in Tamil Nadu. It's more like a decentralized network that gets activated when they perceive some kind of insult or disrespect.
And their specific complaints. What's the actual beef here? Is it just the title Thug Life? Or this rumor about the storyline depicting a rebel leader? They think it makes their ancestors look bad. Is that the gist?
That seems to be the core argument, yeah. They're saying the title itself is derogatory towards a historical community. And that the rumored plotline, again, rumored paints their lineage as villains. But, and this is the crucial point we got to keep hammering home.
Yeah.
The film isn't out.
Yeah.
Nobody actually knows the full story, not even them.
Right.
Thug Life is fiction. It's not claiming to be a history lesson. And honestly, you look at Mani Ratnam's career, 40 years, consistently sensitive, thoughtful films, or Kamal Haasan and the sheer range of characters he's played.
Yeah, he's done everything.
Exactly. It just seems highly unlikely they deliberately set out to offend an entire community like this. The whole outrage feels premature. Lacks any real basis, in fact, right now.
It's still baffling how fast it spreads, though, just based on, like you said, rumors.
Yeah.
Fueled by what's out forwards that probably multiply faster than anything.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the modern outrage machine, isn't it?
Yeah.
And their tactics.
Yeah.
Well, we've seen what they involve. Intimidation, sometimes vandalism, threats. It's not exactly constructive dialogue, is it? It makes you wonder, if they're genuinely concerned about their community's image, maybe maybe try making their own movie instead of, this approach.
That's a fair point, and it brings up a much bigger question, doesn't it? If just a title can spark this kind of reaction, what does that say about telling bolder stories in India? This isn't just about thug life anymore. It feels like it's about whether, a few loud voices get to decide what everyone else watches, what artists get to create.
Precisely. And legally speaking, the ground rules are actually quite clear. The Indian Constitution, Article 19(1), guarantees freedom of expression. Yes, there are reasonable restrictions, public order, defamation, stuff like that. But crucially, deciding on those restrictions, that's for the courts, not for protesters on the street.
Okay.
Then you have the Cinematograph Act from 1952 and the CBFC, the Central Board of Film Certification. They're the official body. If thug life really does cross a line, the CBFC has the power. They can ask for cuts, give it an A rating, or even reject it. That's the process.
So where are we right now, factually? Like today, June 19th, 2025.
Okay, so Thug Life is still officially in post-production. It hasn't gone before the CBFC yet for certification. And importantly, as far as we know from industry sources, no formal complaints have actually been filed with the CBFC by any of these groups.
Interesting. So the official channels haven't even really been used yet?
It seems that way.
Mm.
Which puts the government in a tricky spot, right?
Yeah, what has the government done? How are they handling this balancing act?
Well, it's definitely delicate for them. The Tamil Nadu police have filed cases against some protesters for vandalism in Chennai, so they're addressing the public order side. And the state government, under Chief Minister M.K. Stalin, put out a statement calling for calm, promising legal action against troublemakers. But you have to remember the context in Tamil Nadu. Cinema there isn't just entertainment. It's deeply tied to politics and culture.
Oh yeah, famously so.
Film stars becoming chief ministers. It gives movies this incredible weight in public life. So politicians might be tempted to, play to the crowd, but the danger is huge.
Yeah.
If thug life gets banned or heavily censored because of protests like this, well, what's next? It sets a really worrying precedent.
And this isn't the first time we've seen something like this in India, is it? There's a history here.
Oh, absolutely. We've seen this movie before, pardon the pun. Remember Padmavat back in 2017? Huge uproar, bans by states, riots.
Right, the Rajput groups.
Exactly. But the Supreme Court stepped in, overturned the bans, and the film eventually released, maybe with a few tweaks, but it got seen. Or look at the Kashmir Files in 2022. Massive debate, accusations of propaganda, but it ran uncensored. And then there was Uttar Punjab in 2016. The CBFC wanted something crazy like 89 cuts.
89. Wow.
Yeah, but the Bombay High Court basically threw that out, and the film released mostly intact.
So there's a pattern, isn't there? When the legal process is followed, when the courts get involved.
Art tends to win out. The courts have, time and again, upheld creative freedom as long as the films clear the actual legal hurdles set by the CBFC. It's about process, not threats.
Still, that chilling effect you mentioned must be real.
Undeniably. Every time a mob demands a ban, it makes creators think twice. It makes producers nervous. It's like trying to paint while someone keeps threatening to slash the canvas. It stifles creativity. And honestly, nobody is forcing anyone to buy a ticket, are they? If you think Thug Life might offend you after it comes out and you've maybe read reviews or something, just don't go. Simple.
Try putting yourself in Mani Ratnam's shoes for a second. Imagine, you're 68, made, 25 films? National awards, Padma Bhushan. You're working with Kamal Haasan, another legend, A.R. Rahman, doing the music.
The dream team.
Right, and suddenly you're public enemy #1 because of a 2-word title before anyone's even seen your work. It must be incredibly frustrating. Disorienting, even.
It really throws the whole dilemma for artists in India into sharp focus, doesn't it?
Yeah.
They're expected to push boundaries, tell compelling stories, keep things fresh, but at the same time, they're constantly navigating these outrage mobs, political sensitivities, potential legal challenges, and it's a minefield. And self-censorship, it's already happening. We know scripts get shelved because producers are just too scared of the potential backlash. There was a report in 2023, I think, estimated something like 30% of Bollywood films face these kinds of pre-release controversies. Think about the cost, the delays.
Wow, 30%, that's huge. Kamal Haasan himself, he's faced controversies before. How's he responding?
He's been quite diplomatic, actually. Put out a simple message, something like, let the film release, then judge.
Straightforward.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Ratnam's team, they've also clarified, saying Thug Life isn't targeting any community. It's a fictional story about rebellion. But, the sad reality is reason doesn't tend to go viral. Rage does. And that's the real fear for filmmakers now. Not getting a bad review, but sparking a bad riot.
So This really brings it back to us, doesn't it? To you, the audience. Because your choices here actually matter quite a bit. Every ticket, bought or not bought it, sends a message. If a film like Thug Life gets shut down before release because of this pressure, it's a loss for everyone who believes in creative storytelling. If it does come out and you decide to see it, you're essentially casting a vote for creativity over chaos, for letting the process work.
And you play a huge role in just keeping the conversation, well, sane. Next time that WhatsApp forward pops up screaming, ban this movie,
Yeah.
maybe ask for some proof, some actual evidence. Don't just hit forward. Share facts if you find them, not just the rumors. Maybe gently suggest waiting to see the film before forming such a strong opinion. You can check the CBFC website, cbfcindia.gov.in, see if it's even been certified. Check with local police if these protests are actually significant. Be that calm voice.
And let's not fall into that trap of thinking all sentiment is sacred and untouchable, right?
Exactly. Respecting people is vital, of course. But that doesn't mean silencing stories, especially fictional ones. India's got over 1 billion people. We're going to have 1 billion different opinions.
Yeah.
If we banned every single film that someone, somewhere, found offensive,
We'd have nothing left to watch.
pretty much,
Right.
we'd be stuck with, I don't know, Tom and Jerry reruns. And even then, someone would probably complain about Jerry's tail offending mice.
Probably true.
But looking at the bigger picture here, this really is about more than just one film. It kind of touches on the soul of India, you know. We are a nation of storytellers. From ancient epics right up to modern blockbusters, our cinema reflects us, our dreams, our fights, our funny quirks. But it's also become this soft target, easy pickings for anyone with an agenda or a grudge. And if we let mobs effectively rewrite the scripts or shut down productions, we're losing more than just movies. We're losing a piece of our freedom, our diversity, our ability to connect through stories.
So the fate of Thug Life, however it plays out, it really will set a precedent, won't it? Are we going to let the established legal process work, let artists create, let audiences decide, or are we just going to hand the remote control over to whoever shouts the loudest? It really leaves you with something to think about, doesn't it? Dig for the facts, demand a bit of reason in the debate, maybe keep a sense of humor about it all, because if we lose this fight, this real fight over creative freedom, if we let unfounded outrage dictate what we see and what artists can say, we risk losing something much bigger about who we are.
The choice ultimately is in our hands. As viewers, as citizens, as participants in this whole cultural conversation.